Hey, we are live here on the Hardcover Comic.
The hardcover comic. You know what I realized? Our initials are THC.
How have I never realized that before?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But obviously, it doesn't make us sound too professional if we refer to ourselves that way.
No, we could just tell like our Patreon subscribers, which
Yeah,
we'll get into that a little bit later. But
that's what I was thinking about. Is when we had the crossover with Gem Mint, I was like, it's GMC meets THC. Cool little acronyms there, working together.
THC, come be a hardcover. I don't even know where I'm going with that. Be a hardcover head. I don't know.
Yeah.
I am losing it. But anyway, so moving on. THC is in the house.
Yep.
Rocking the Valiant. You got some nice photos back there. Hey, did you get those emails or that email I sent you in regards to the C2E2 Marvel?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they so C2E2 is going on obviously this weekend, and Marvel had a big panel today, and they sent us some pictures of like upcoming covers for comics and some interior shots of some upcoming comics. So stay tuned because we're going to be posting all that stuff to our Instagram as well and kind of helping spread the Marvel love in that regard. Oh, thanks, man. He says he likes the hat.
I'll pull it up here so maybe we can look at
Valiant,
it. Anyone
baby. Oh, yeah, if you could do that, that'd be dope. Oh, yeah, because you can share your screen.
Very nice.
Very nice. Yeah, and then we'll throw it up on Instagram and stuff as well, so that way people can see the big Marvel announcements from C2E2. Exciting stuff in that regard.
Very exciting.
Speaking of Marvel,
a lot of X-Men stuff.
Dude, so I wasn't prior to the whole Hickman verse. I wasn't a huge X-Men fan. Like I like the older X-Men stuff, like the 70s, 80s, and 90s, but like the more modern X-Men stuff, I haven't really been feeling. Just I don't know, wasn't my thing, I guess. I've tried it and I just couldn't get into it. The whole X-Men gold, blue, red, black, I couldn't get into that stuff. And so the X-Men's really been kind of hit or miss, but now with this reboot with Hickman, I gave it a chance with the House of X and Dawn of X, and I was like, yeah, this is, or Powers of X, sorry. And I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool or whatever. I can dig this. And then I got really into X-Force. God, that's such a good title right now. Excuse me, loving X-Force. And you told me, hey, you have to read X-Men. And I was like, well, I've read like the first 2 issues. And you're like, no, dude, like they're up to issue 7 this week. You need to read X-Men. So I did. And yeah, man, X-Men is freaking good. I actually like Cyclops again. Like, that's so weird to say. I like Cyclops.
So good. Yeah, it was nice to see him talk with Wolverine at the start, sort of get chummy with each other.
That was funny. There was actually, I mean, no spoilers because it did just drop, so I won't spoil anything, but I did laugh out loud a little bit during that. If you know which ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I kind of laughed out loud a little bit with that. I was like, oh, that's awesome. I love the banter.
Yeah, it was really good because, I mean, it's nice that Hickman sort of gave us those light pedals to walk on at the start because he just gets crazy. I mean, he gets so heavy and so deep once Nightcrawler jumps in.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And I love what Hickman did with Nightcrawler. And really, again, this isn't really spoiling anything, but with Nightcrawler sort of battling his internal struggle between what he was raised as and what he grew up and what his faith is compared to what they're now doing in regards to the Crucible. And we'll just kind of leave it at that if we don't want to spoil anything. But if you guys have read it, you guys know what we're talking about.
Yeah, the Crucible and in general, how things are operating on Krakoa in general, because they're pretty much, building up their own ideology and stuff at this point. It was intense. And then as soon as Apocalypse comes in and you've got that conversation with Nightcrawler and Cyclops happening sort of in the narrative boxes while Apocalypse is fighting somebody, it's so good. It's just so good. The art was great.
The art was really good. Lots of details and stuff, especially like in the faces, and I enjoyed that. I was like, oh, this is really solid art. It It was solid. There, I had some questions reading it because I'm like, did I miss something? Because I'm not reading New Mutants and I'm not reading some of these other like Excalibur and some of these other tie-ins. So I didn't know if I was missing something though. So maybe if anybody's watching that has read like everything and including issue 7, if you could let me know if like any of that stuff. I've read X-Force and X-Men and like the House of X and Powers of X stuff. But other than that, I'm not really reading any of the other mutant titles. So, aside from Wolverine, I am reading that one. If I found something or if that was all just, I mean, I understood it by the end of the issue, but I just felt like I might have been missing stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's sort of what Jonathan Hickman's been doing for like the past 7 issues. In general, like each issue doesn't really feel like it's a direct continuation of the last one. It feels like, some time's passed.
Yes.
Stuff's happened. You sort of hear about that stuff happening. Like if you're not reading X-Force and you read X-Men 2 or 3, you're like, how is Xavier back? You do realize that, of course, they can bring people back, but that's been going on since like the start of House of X and Powers of X.
Yes.
But
well, speaking of Xavier being back, issue 4, I think it was, I got really excited with that issue, and they're all like sitting there and they're and they take off, and he takes off his Cerebro helmet. I was like, finally, Professor X gets to be fucking Professor X. And then it was cool for like the 2 pages, and then he puts the thing back on again, and I was like, damn it.
Yeah, he goes a weird
back
vibe.
to it looks like the Maker.
Exactly, yeah.
And I wasn't a big fan of the Maker, so I'm like,
look a little bad.
Yeah, he just looks like a Gomer. I miss the Professor X of old.
I like the in issue 4. I really like that speech Magneto gives.
Yes,
Apocalypse is just there to be like, yeah, I've seen civilizations fall, so you should be worried.
Why did they fall? Because of me.
And Hickman's just the way he's writing those characters is so great. It's true. Like Cyclops hasn't been this lovable in a long time. Like
no, not at all. Same thing with kind of Apocalypse. I mean, Apocalypse has always sort of been like a major badass, but he's a likable character kind of in this. You know what I mean? Like he's somewhat relatable.
Yeah, you can get where he's coming from a little bit with some of his thoughts and his ideas. Yeah,
and Magneto's been awesome. I love Magneto. He's been a blast to read as well. I'm really excited though, man. Benjamin Percy is freaking killing it with X-Force, and then that first issue of Wolverine. I'm very, very, very excited to see what he does with it. It's shaping up to be a fun ride.
Yeah, the other you did read, well, I guess you looked through the giant size X-Men, right? Since it's mostly
Yes. Oh, I should have brought that down. I have it upstairs because I had it tucked away so my kids couldn't destroy it. So you can have it when you come down.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I should have brought it down. But yeah, they Marvel sent us a couple review copies, and one of them was Jean Grey and is it Emma Frost? Yeah, Emma Frost, giant size X-Men. I flipped through it. The art in that was this. It definitely was pretty much strictly an artist issue. Hickman wrote like a couple blurbs here and there. But really it was just sort of showing off the amazing art skills of some of these people. I was talking with somebody else about it, and apparently they're doing 5 of them, 5 like different ones.
Right. Yep.
Nightcrawler is the one that I'm super excited about because I want to see the art in that. I love Nightcrawler, especially when he's drawn really well.
I think it's Alan Davis who's supposed to do art on that. Maybe someone who's watching knows, but I think it's Alan Davis.
Yeah, I'm pretty
a lot of really good stuff. So
I'm pretty excited about that one. Although I have to say, for those that don't know but like sketches from artists that maybe aren't super well known, like the Jim Lees and the Todd McFarlanes of the world, people that haven't done a lot of comics or really any comics, but they're excellent artists nonetheless. One of my all-time favorite artists for Nightcrawler is a gentleman by the name of Jim O'Reilly. We met Jim a couple of years ago, actually, at a con that our old podcast was at, and we kind of hung out with him all weekend. His booth was directly across from us, and we became friendly, and I've actually bought a few commissions and things off of him over the years. But his Nightcrawler is killer, and like the dude loves drawing Nightcrawler. It's like his all-time favorite thing to draw. and just look him up. He has his own YouTube channel where he does like live drawings and stuff, and
It's really good.
it's good. It's good stuff. He's a very talented guy and really awesome and super affordable. So if you're ever looking for like original art but can't afford the the big name prices, I definitely recommend Chris Campana and Jim O'Reilly. Those guys are solid.
Yeah. I see Kent Miller commented Cyclops is good again, 100%. Southern Comic Geek. I read all but Excalibur. I haven't seen anything about it before this issue.
Oh, okay. So maybe it was like a new thing.
Yeah. How is Southern Comic Geek? How's New Mutants? I haven't checked it out just because I don't know. I've had a rough time with New Mutants so far.
Yeah.
I guess I'm on the newer end.
I want to say it was Jabo I was talking to online, and Jabo was saying that he actually really enjoys New Mutants. He said it was a really solid book. But then again, he is a huge Marvel mutant fanboy. So take that with a grain of salt. I love him, but sometimes I think he might be a little biased just because of how much he loves these characters. Like they're like his heart and soul. So
yeah,
I would like to hear other opinions.
Yeah, from I think the way I understand it, they were doing the same thing where like Ed Bryson, is it Bryson or Brisson? I never know.
I always said Brisson, but I don't know if that's the pronounce. I don't know if that's the correct way, but that's how I've always said it.
I feel like he did an issue and then Jonathan Hickman did an issue and they would interweave that way for New Mutants. I think that's the way they've been doing it.
Well, Southern Space Geek says that the space stuff is good. It's done. Here, let me just throw it up on the screen. It's good. It's done by Hickman, and the writing and art reminds me of Bill Sienkiewicz and the old days of New Mutants. Now that's cool. While the writing of the old days of New Mutants was a little hit or miss for me, Bill Sienkiewicz's art was fantastic throughout. That dude has such a unique art style that I absolutely adore.
Yeah. Speaking of art, so I pick up Shazam monthly, and it's usually been Dale Eaglesham working on it or Scott Collins. Scott Collins, you read Jeff Johns' Flash run, right? So I mean, Scott Collins did pretty much all of that.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I mean, I haven't seen too much Scott Collins artwork, but like, does it seem like maybe it's getting a bit worse? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that was horrible by any means.
Like this is, it's not terrible, but I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Let's think back to this. You said he did Jeff Johns' Flash.
Right.
Was he the one that was responsible for the gold horrendous suit on Cyborg? Remember the S&M suit of Cyborg that was solid gold?
Yeah,
he's basically wearing a Speedo, like a bikini, but it was like gold. It was super. Do you remember that? Yeah. If he's responsible for that, man, then that is by far a huge step up from his previous work.
Let's see.
Because I'm sorry, that gold bikini Cyborg was horrible. I remember, and they had a full front page of it too. Like they were showing it off. Like I had the omnibus and I was turning the pages and I turned to that page and I went, "Oh, what the hell?"
Yeah, dude, they made an action figure for that suit.
Oh, that was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
I can't be the only one that feels that way. That was brutal.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I guess I'm comparing him. Dale Eaglesham's the other artist, and he just crushes it every time. But I don't mind.
Well, just be happy it's coming out.
True.
It was one of those hit or miss titles for a very long time.
It's a pretty nice 2-page spread. I like that.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I dig it. Gotta catch up.
Thrasher says that Brisson is pronounced. Well, he wrote pronounces 3 times. Pronounces like kissing. So yeah, it's Brisson.
Gotcha. I don't know why I thought it would be Bryson. I don't know.
Brisson. Edward Brisson.
The S's are silent. It's Brion.
The S's are silent. Brion.
It's Brion.
Yeah, no, Brisson. Yay, Brisson.
I see.
I love that dude.
I
He
see
writes some good shit.
a nice thick set of books back there on your shelf that wasn't there before, my friend.
You do indeed. I'm gonna be doing a video on them at some point. I think I got dust jackets just because right now they're kind of just plain looking. There's really nothing special about them. I have the first volume right here at my desk. Let me grab it. So I was gonna do a video, but I'm gonna wait until I have you design some dust jackets. And before you do that, I got to get my Cataclysm, the Road to No Man's Land, and Volume 1 of Nightfall bound before I do that. So that way we can just create all of them at once and have a really nice 1990s theme.
Yeah.
So there is a gentleman of Facebook groups, Mr. Shapiro, who was selling off some of his custom binds that he had done previously because he's wanting to do something different with them. Like he's rebinding them all, but he's doing something completely different. And so he was selling off his old ones. And this Batman run was actually a run that I was going to get custom bound anyway. Eventually, I wasn't sure when, but like it was in my plans to get bound. And so I saw he was selling them. So I reached out to him the very first time. I bought 2 volumes from him, which is which ones did I buy from him again? I don't remember, but I bought 2 volumes from him. It was right after Nightfall, I think, were the ones that I bought from him originally. And I got a really good price. I think I bought 2 volumes from him for $60.
The Contagion Legacy.
Yes, Contagion Legacy, and there was one other. I don't remember. Anyway, but yeah, those were the ones that I bought from him previously. And so I reached out to him again. I said, "Hey, man, how much are you selling all the Nightfall stuff for? Because like, I really want to collect it. I was gonna bind it myself anyways, because I wanted it. So I'm just curious what you're selling it for." And he gave me a fantastic deal. 6 volumes, $20 a volume, including shipping. Damn. So if you guys remember from our last live show, I was like, "Hey, buy these epics so I can get this." Well, this is what I was talking about. So needless to say, I bought them. But yeah, so it's just the Batman. This one is the Prelude to Nightfall. So I'm actually in the process of reading it right now. But my goal is that with all that stack back in here, all of those black custom binds are all Batman. I got a few trades that fell over that I need to get bound still, but all of that is, once it's all done and completely bound, is pretty much going to be the majority of 1990s Batman from like 91 through 2000. Obviously it's not going to be like every issue of every title of every bat, but it's going to cover like all of the big major events, such as leading up to Nightfall, after Nightfall, Contagion and Legacy, Cataclysm, Road to No Man's Land. So yeah, it's gonna be kind of like a whole shelf of Batman 90s, which I'm super excited about. And I actually got in all 5 trade paperbacks for the custom bind of Robin, the Chuck Dixon Robin that I'm getting bound. So I'll have 2 volumes of Robin, which actually tie in during that same time frame as sort of like that Nightfall and the Contagion Legacy stuff. So they're going to kind of fit in with that too. So I'm super excited about that.
Very nice.
But yeah, these were bound by Houchen, so they're really obviously solid quality books. But nothing fancy. They don't have headbands, tailbands, ribbons, nothing like that. It was just a pretty solid stuff. But one thing we were discussing though is that I started reading this, and one of the very first arcs in here is a 4-issue arc of Batman Shadow of the Bat. The last Arkham, written by Alan Grant and art by Norm Breyfogle, who I forgot how much I loved his art until I started read. Well, this is the first time I've ever read this one, but once I started reading his stuff again, I went, I forgot how much I love this man's Batman art. It's so good. And Nightwing was drawn like kind of like a douche back then, but aside from that, but like you got like these amazing layouts. Let me see, I can get to the, but you kind of sort of got these amazing layouts that he does, and I absolutely love it. And so I was telling Mike, I said, have you ever read Batman Shadow of the Bat? It's like this really awesome 4-issue arc pertaining to like Victor Zsasz and Batman getting locked up in Arkham because apparently he kills a cop, and there's more to it than that. And he said, no, I haven't checked it out. So you read it. You've read the 4 issues. I've read, I think, 3 of the 4, and you've read the full 4.
Yeah.
What did you think? Was it as good as I was telling you that the first 3 were?
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. It was
You
a lot
pause. You're like,
darker.
well, kinda.
No, I was just gathering my thoughts.
Oh, okay.
No, it was way darker than I thought it was going to be. I guess you told me Victor Zsasz, so I should have assumed it'd be bad. But like people getting their throats cut and just sort of the bodies are just left there and they just draw it. No big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, just Victor Zsasz being in that containment. You just see his mouth whenever he talks, and he's just saying the craziest stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know I guess we can spoil
it. He's sort of in that.
There's that moment you mentioned.
Yeah, I mean the story is almost 30 years old, so.
Yeah, there's that moment you mentioned to me with the cuts. I was like, damn, that's messed up.
So, okay, we're going to spoil the fuck out of this one.
Yeah.
It's almost 30 years old. If you haven't read it, I apologize. It's almost 30 years old. I haven't just now started reading it to myself. But so Batman gets locked up in Arkham apparently for killing a cop, right? And inside Arkham, so it's Jeremiah Arkham who really is the main focus of this kind of story. He's rebuilding Arkham, and he's bringing all the inmates back into this labyrinth of Arkham Asylum that he has now created. And Southern Comic Geek, what? Just joking. So yeah, he ends up bringing in all of these people and stuff back into Arkham, and Batman gets locked in full suit. Like, they don't demask him or anything, and Jeremiah Arkham's like, no, we're not going to demask him. We're going to break him down, and then we're going to demask and all this stuff. Well, it turns out that Victor Zsasz is locked up in Arkham, but somehow he's getting loose every night and going and killing all of these people. And he kills like a family of 3, and before Batman gets locked up, he discovers this dead family of 3, and so he goes to Arkham. He's like, I want to talk to Zsasz, and Zsasz like stands up or whatever, and he goes, let me see your body. And that was the kind of the page I showed where he's standing there naked with all the scars and stuff all over him. And Batman's kind of like looking over his body and counting all of the scars to see if he added 3 new scars for this family that had just been murdered. And he doesn't see anything. And he's like, fine. And he kind of like, storms off. And then Victor Zsasz like sits down on his jail bed, and he's like, ha 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 ha. And he like lifts up his foot. And on the bottom of his fucking foot are 3 new slashes to represent the family of 3 that had just been murdered.
Crazy.
And I was just like, oh, that is sick and twisted and like clever as fuck at the same time. And
yeah,
it was really neat. It was really, really awesome storytelling too.
Yeah, I liked it. I don't know. I need to read more Shadow of the Bat, because it's a lot of fun. I didn't expect other members of the Bat family to pop in, but you get a little Robin action in there.
You get some Nightwing.
Some Nightwing action. Yep. Yeah, it was fun.
Back when Nightwing had a mullet.
Yeah, good old days in that crazy ass outfit.
Yeah, the blue and gold
outfit.
Yeah, the blue and gold with the bat buckle.
Yeah. He's going full circus back then. He's toned down a little now. Yeah, that was fun, and it seems like Shadow of the Bat in general had like 4-issue arcs, and then it started tying into.
Yeah, some of them were even one shots. They were like either one shots or like 3 or 4 issue arcs, which is kind of cool because they were all sort of self-contained.
Yeah.
So how earlier I said, I wasn't sure if there was more of that in here, or kind of what this volume 1 all entailed. So that's it. It's just that 4-volume arc of Shadow of the Bat, and then after that it dives into like Detective and Batman and all the stuff leading up to Nightfall. And then obviously it's also got Vengeance of Bane and.
Yep.
Nice. But these are all bound from singles too, so you get all like the really fun ads from the 1990s that takes me back to childhood.
Is that sewn binding, over sewn?
No, I'm pretty sure. Nope, this is all DFAB.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man, that's nice. You never know, you might find some Shadow of the Bat in the other volumes.
Well, if nothing else, like we discovered earlier, they have four volumes right now of Shadow of the Bat that go up to issue 43.
Or
And
more
then
solicited? Did it get canceled?
no, oh, well, I don't know about that. Maybe.
Yeah, man.
Maybe. You know what? Speaking of cancel, let's dive into some comic news. Obviously, this is something that people are already going to be aware of, unless you live under a rock. But we can kind of discuss it and see what I'm curious to what your thoughts are, because you and I haven't really discussed it that much. And maybe we can get the opinions of the people watching too. I'd be curious to know what you guys think. Dan Didio was fired from DC earlier this week. What many say that a lot of fans are saying that, oh, it's a great thing, it's a good thing, maybe they'll stop canceling all these books and everything. But now Jim Lee is the sole publisher, because it was Dan and Jim, and now Dan's gone, Jim's the only one, so it's kind of on Jim Lee's shoulders at this point. But what do you guys think? Like, Mike, what is your thoughts about Dan being termed? Do you think it's a good thing for DC publishing, or what?
I mean, it might be. Again, I don't know who's really causing none of us really know who's causing all the trouble there. I guess, whatever he does, I wish him all the best. It seems like he's still planning to be at Planet Comic-Con. So
he hasn't canceled yet.
No. And I mean, I've seen a lot of creators post about him saying how he was the reason they got like Tony Daniel pretty much said, hey, he's the one who brought me over, told me to be working here. Tom King, Mitch Gerads, a whole bunch of people have sort of said, thank you to him. So, I mean, there's some merit to that. I don't know what that's worth. I don't know. No one really knows what's happening behind the scenes, but hopefully, I obviously wish the best for DC and wish the best to Dan Didio as well. Maybe we can ask him.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll want to talk about that.
Why'd you get fired?
Yeah, so the rumors that were flying around was that Dan had helped foster a very negative work environment. Apparently, those are the rumors that were swirling, and people are saying that Dan really wants to launch this 5G thing. Have you heard much about 5G, Mike? So basically what he was wanting to do was take DC continuity and change it again. And well, he's changing it again, but he wanted to make it so that the heroes aged in real time. So now, instead of having Clark Kent as Superman, instead of having Bruce Wayne as Batman, etc., now Diana and all them are all like 80, 90 years old. And you've got other people taking over the mantle. And so you have new Batmans. You have, which in my opinion is what Batman Beyond is. Like, you don't need a 5G. That's Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
But
yeah, make a timeline for that.
Yeah, you're going to have a new Superman. Now, is that new Superman going to be John? Is it going to be somebody
Damian?
else? Yeah, is it going to be who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? Who's the new Wonder Woman? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they were going to take all of like the classic characters that everybody knows and loves and grew up on and basically age them out and bring in new heroes. So instead of like the Justice League, it was going to be, I can't remember the 3000, like the kids from the future. I can't think of
Legion of Superheroes.
That's it. Legion of Superheroes. That's who they were going to have instead of the Justice League and sort of things like that. So a lot of people were against it. The rumor mill, this is strictly rumors, but the rumor mill on that is that Scott Snyder was extremely against it, because Scott Snyder is, and as we know, him and Capullo are going to be working on
Death Metal.
Death Metal. Almost said Dark Metal. No, Death Metal.
That'll be the third one.
Yeah, they're working on Death Metal, which if this whole 5G thing launched would really kind of mess with what they're doing with Death Metal. And so he kind of said, look, from the rumors is that Snyder said, look, you can, if you do your 5G thing, like do whatever, but leave Death Metal the hell alone. Like, don't touch it. Don't include us as a part of it. We want nothing to do with it, etc. And then after that, the rumor started being, well, DC got bought out by, was it AT&T? I want to say it's AT&T that like bought him out.
Maybe.
And so then the rumors after that were, well, is AT&T or whoever the new owner was, if 5G fails, the rumor was that they were going to cancel DC publishing altogether.
Wow.
And DC wouldn't be making new books or whatever was sort of the rumor. Once again, these are all rumors and speculation. Like, who knows what's actually happening?
Wow.
But then, so a lot of people are saying, well, now that Didio's out, 5G was sort of his baby. Is 5G still going to happen? Or are they going to completely kick it to the curb and do something else? Because, yeah, the rumor was that if 5G doesn't do well, they were going to get rid of the publishing altogether.
Wow. I mean, you can. So first of all, it now makes it seem like Dan Didio was one of the reasons Bendis has so much control.
Yes.
That's all Bendis is doing. Like Legion of Superheroes, John is a teenager.
Yes.
Young Justice. So that makes me a little. That turns me against Dan Didio a little bit because I don't like what Bendis is doing.
I don't think anybody does. I have yet to meet one person that says, I love Bendis as Superman. I have not met one person. Not one.
Like, I mean, they've done this before with JSA. That's what JSA was, right? Golden Age Heroes saying, hey, here you guys go. And
True.
I don't understand why.
But they didn't age them out, though. They actually used the Golden Age heroes. You know what I mean? They didn't take Superman and Batman and Wonder Woman and age them out. They didn't take your classic, your historic people that built the company and aged them out. They went back and used, Wildcat and all those other characters to be like, here you guys go,
Yeah, give it its own universe. I mean, if Warren Ellis could write a 24 issue like the Wildstorm 2 years ago, 24 issues, his own thing, he gets to do whatever the hell he wants to do. There was another Michael Cray series with it. Just do that. See how that works before you start getting rid of, having Bruce Wayne be an old man, which is cool. It works in Batman Beyond, but like, I don't want that.
But that's already happened. You have Batman Beyond already, which is doing really well.
Right.
You don't need another one. You've already got it.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Or do like a weekly series like they did with 52 and just play that out where it's like every week it's, I don't know how much time has passed. Just don't change everything. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, let's see what everybody's got to say in here. Yeah. So Southern Comic Geek says exactly. Just do like what Marvel did with Ultimates. There you go. You could have a 5G universe. You have the Ultimate Universe. You have a 5G universe.
Next wave.
That could be cool. Or have something like Black Label, except not as dark, that they can work with. Quit trying to mess with these classic characters. Yeah. I love Black Label. Don't ever get rid of Black Label. They're doing some really good stuff with that. Bendis, if you're listening, leave Superman. Jarrett, what's up, man? Not hard to believe. Didio is disliked. 5G, from what I can tell, was more progressive characters. Oh, that's right. They are supposed to be more progressive characters. Real Agent, yes, they were gonna have a black Batman. I didn't hear about the gay Wonder Woman. That one was new to me. A gay Wonder Woman, etc. All people that had yet to be introduced before. Yes, AT&T. That was right. So cool. AT&T is the one that bought out Warner, which obviously we knew Warner owns DC, but yeah, so AT&T bought them out. So good. I wasn't wrong in that. I was like, I think it's AT&T. Jared, meanwhile, the new head. Oh, that's right. Bob Iger from Disney fucking stepped down. Did you hear about that?
I did not. Wow.
Bob Iger, man, the CEO of Disney, which, as we know, owns everything except for DC. He stepped down, man, or got fired. He's no longer one of the two. He's no longer with Disney. So yeah, the new head of Disney thinks the future is in restoring the parks rather than streaming Disney Plus. I think there's a happy medium in what Jared's saying. Yeah. I think there's definitely a good medium there. I think the parks could definitely be a lot, they could restore stuff, make some stuff really cool again. But at the same time, did this new head of Disney not watch The Mandalorian? Like, that show is what got 90% of the people I know to invest in a Disney Plus was The Mandalorian. That and all the old school shows from when we were kids, but
weird.
Yeah. So yeah, dude, Bob Iger from Dan Didio and Bob Iger. It's nuts, man.
The trees are being shaken.
Yeah, They're not liking it. Maybe Didio's gonna go over to be the new head of Disney.
Maybe, yeah.
Southern Comic Black Label is great. Haven't read Wonder Woman, but the others are great. I've read Wonder Woman 1. I haven't read 2. I did read 1.
It's
And I
great.
enjoyed it. The art threw me off initially, but as I continued to read it, it fit the story really well.
Yeah. It's a good time. Number 2 was good too.
Yeah.
With it. Yeah. Speaking of Black Label, man, I just wanted to toot its horn one more time. Hellblazer number 4.
I still need to read this.
Oh, it's so funny.
I'm gonna read it tonight.
So
I will. I think I need to read issue 3 as well, so I will read those tonight.
So Matt and I have a friend who we did a podcast with. His name on the podcast was Rusty Surfer. His real name's Alex. We're planning to do a New Mutants live stream with him. This magician that John Constantine runs into has a man bun, has that whole vibe going,
dude. Does he look like Rusty?
A little bit. I mean, he's got glasses and like spacers in his ears, but it's not far off, man. It's not far off. And it's just such a funny issue. The artwork it's a little stylized. But there's some great like one-page spreads. I'll try and find one.
While you're looking for one, yeah, Southern Comic. He says the art looked horrible on Wonder Woman. I'm used to her looking hot. Yeah, no, it definitely threw me off too. The art definitely threw me off initially as well. I wasn't really sure how to feel about it, but it fit the story. I enjoyed it a lot. It really did fit the story.
Yeah, it's not bad. This was a nice one-page spread, I thought.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's not bad. I like the colors are kind of like crisp and poppy.
Yeah. John actually he tries out his old school outfit in this issue as well. He's not wearing the dirty clothes under the trench coat. He's got like a whole suit. Yeah, he's like, I'm going back to my old ways for the day.
That's right.
He's got a demon in his phone.
I did flip through that issue after you mentioned it, and I didn't like the faces of the art. I thought the faces looked freaking weird.
Totally understand.
I do remember that.
Yeah, I like what's happening here, and they've got these you know, the Strange Adventures book coming from Tom King and Mitch Gerads. They've got these previews in the back, and like I guess he's selling a book in this mini that's going to be one of the things that he's doing. But it's sort of like I feel like Tom King took a bunch of moments from when he was working at cons. Because there's like, you've got all these people coming up to him being like, thanks, man. Your book changed my life. I really cried at this moment.
We said that to him. Remember that?
Yeah.
We're like, hey, man, Batman, was it 5? 6? Which one was it? 5?
So. 5 or 6.
We're like, hey, man, Batman 5. That was a fucking heart wrencher. And then he went on to tell us that he wrote it because like his grandmother had just passed, and it was like, I'm like, Jesus, it did come from like somewhere deep.
Yeah, it was intense.
That was probably us. Like he probably wrote that he remembered us, specifically us, and he said, hey, I remember these 2 guys out of all the cons I've ever done. I remember these 2 guys that cried over Batman 5.
They're the guys that took that picture with Capullo and Snyder. Right?
Yes, yes. Snyder jumped in and photobombed the picture.
Yeah,
dude, we should throw that up sometime.
I should, yeah, maybe tonight.
Maybe put on Instagram.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Ooh, Swamp Thing.
Little Justice League Dark Action. I'm so excited to start collecting these trades and binding it. Man,
here's my question. I've read the first 9 issues. How much have you read?
I've really only read I think it was like the first, because the first 3 issues have their own arc, and then I think it jumps into like Wonder Woman, The Witching Hour, something like that.
Yes.
So I've read up to that, but I haven't even finished this trade, like issues 5 through 7. I haven't.
Okay. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's good. It's good. I'm not knocking it at all, but it was kind of weird at first to see Wonder Woman sort of being the leader of Justice League Dark. Right. I was like, huh, that's in her. But I mean, if you think about it, she really does fit into that world.
Yeah.
It's a mythological creature. I mean, you know what I mean? She's a Greek goddess. Like it fits well into that world. It's just something I never would have thought of, because when I think of Wonder Woman, I think bright and shiny and, not dark and twisted with, But
I saw Austin said, what's up? What's going on, Austin?
Hey, what's happening, sir?
Yeah, no, it's she's definitely the odd one out, but I've liked her so far in it. The team in general is a lot of fun, and the artwork's ridiculously good. And what they did for the trades is like they used that sort of new newsprint.
Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Nice.
And that binds a lot better too than that glossy stuff. So that's another bonus.
Yeah, I love it. It's real nice. Yeah, man. It got I mean, I've started some more bind ideas. I'm gonna be trying not to spend too much money, but
Yeah, I got a lot of binds.
man, is it
I
hard.
think my goal is to get 30 done this year. So
Oh, yeah,
that's my goal.
dude.
But
Yeah,
you froze there for a sec.
I just said 30. Damn, son.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at getting done. So I'm pretty excited. I got a lot to do. The problem
Yeah.
is that a lot of them are trade paperbacks, so I have yet to ever prep a trade paperback. I know you've got some really helpful videos out there, but I have yet to do a trade paperback. So I need to I'm gonna practice on my Black Panther Christopher Priest ones because I'm gonna bind that too eventually.
Very
So
nice.
I'm gonna practice on those because if I mess up, they're easy to replace, unlike some of these other ones.
For that one, would you go to Houchen or would you go to Herring and have them put that stamp on it? Because they have a Black Panther stamp.
To be honest, not knocking. I love Houchen. They did amazing work on all my other binds. I love Tim and David and all them at Omaha Bound. They did some amazing, fantastic work. But due to the fact of how many binds I want to get done this year, I really need to think about like finances, I guess you could say, on like how much all this is going to run me. Whereas for like if I go through Houchen and Tim and them, I can get one book done for the price of 3 books at Herring and Robinson. So when I really weigh that out for me,
Yeah.
from a financial
The
standpoint, it
opportunity
makes
cost.
correct. It just makes sense to get the buckram cloth where they look more plain, but then I can have my good friend Mike here design some amazing dust jackets, and then I can go to Houchen and print those out for a little bit more extra money and have like my Hitman binds, for instance, back here. Like they look amazing on the shelf because of these great dust jackets. You take the dust jacket off and it's a buckram bound book, you know? So I think just
True.
due to finances and money and things like that, I'm going to stick with Herring and Robinson. Well, my hope is I still have yet to get my first binds back from them. So my hope is that I stick with Herring and Robinson. I need to see their work first, but
Sure.
from what I've heard, they're amazing. So
Dope. Yeah, I see Austin 30 binds. I mean, granted, I feel like Matt's only doing binds at this point.
yes, except for there are a few omnibuses that I will be buying day one, which are Wolverine,
Hellblazer.
Hellblazer. Oh yeah, Hellblazer. Postal.
That's right.
I feel like there was one other, but now I can't think of what it is. But those 3 for sure, because those ones are coming up in like the next month. Those 3 I will for sure be getting on day one.
Were you going to be getting like? I don't think you were going to be getting Morbius, the Living Vampire.
I was torn on that one. It's up my alley. It's the kind of the horror stuff. It sounds really cool, but then again, I've never read any of that material before. So once again, due to finances and how many binds I want to get done, I don't know if I can justify spending it and then getting it and finding out like, oh, the material isn't. I mean, it's a cool novelty book to have, but the material's not. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I don't know. Maybe if we have enough people subscribed to Patreon, which as of right now is 0, but if we can get some people to subscribe to Patreon, maybe we can buy it. We'll auction it, or not auction it off, raffle it off to our Patreon people, and somebody can own Morbius for as little as $1.
That's right, because that's all it costs. $1.
Yeah, that's it. We're just looking for $1. $1. Make Matt and Mike holla. So
Yep.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's all we're really looking for. You want us to, if you want to do more, that's great. Otherwise, that's all we're looking for. Just patreon.com/the hardcover comic.
Yep.
But yeah, that would help us out a lot, because we're focusing on binds pretty much right now is really what we're doing, because we're buying for us at this point. But at the same time, we want to create really new, awesome content for you guys and show you guys what's out there and things without you guys going out and spending your hard-earned dollars on potentially a book that's a bust. So we're looking at doing that with the Patreon, where you guys, as long as we can get at least 50 people donating $1, we'll buy at least a book a month, if not more. We'll do a review on it so everybody else can see it, decide if it's for them or not. If you guys are a subscriber to the Patreon, you guys will be put into the raffle and someone wins it for $1. Or if you donate $5 a month, you'll get 5 entries and you could win it for $5. But yeah, so that is our goal. That is something we really want to do. So please support. But other than that, moving on. Austin and Nerdy by Nature. I love the name. That is great. Both asked, Postal has an Omni coming out. Yes.
Not
yes
officially.
And no. It's not an official Omni. They're calling it a deluxe edition, but it has the first 25 issues of the Postal series, and plus a few extras. So it's basically an omnibus. It's basically an omnibus, but they're calling it a deluxe edition. But it is going to have the first 25 issues of Postal, along with a couple extras in there. Let me look it up real quick, because I don't recall.
I'll put it on my screen here.
Oh, perfect. Let me know. I'll throw it up here.
Let me know if you see it.
Let me add you to the stream. There we go. Oh, I like this. We should do this more often.
I know, right?
So yeah, here you guys go. So for those interested, here's Postal. Oh, they're calling it the Complete Collection.
There you go.
So yeah, the Complete Collection. But yeah, it's going to collect 1 through 25, and then Postal Lore and Postal Mark. So, and that's not the complete. I don't know why they're calling it the Complete Collection. That's not complete. There's like more minis that are out there. Yeah, right. There's more minis that are out there. Plus, Postal is still ongoing. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, you're pushing 700 pages. For me, that's basically an omnibus. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. Cannot wait for that one. If you guys have never read Postal, I cannot recommend that book enough. It is absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah.
I remember when that book first came out. I think there was 8 or 9 issues out when I first picked it up, and I just flew through them in one night. It was so good. So good.
Yeah. Brian Hill's, I mean, him and Matt Hawkins. I think it was mostly Brian Hill, though, sort of after the midway point, though, right?
Yeah, it really started off with Matt Hawkins. Like, the whole idea behind Postal was all Matt Hawkins. He really kind of started writing it. Mark is actually based on an old college roommate of his, which we discovered when we met Mark at the con, and we were kind of talking to him about Postal, and he was telling us about how Mark was actually based on an old college roommate of his. And then Matt sort of started slowly like backing away from it because he has a lot of other job duties out there. Yeah. And Brian took over and ran with it. And Brian Edward Hill is great. He's a really fun guy to talk to as well.
I mean, I think he's doing Batman and the Outsiders at DC now.
He did a few issues of Detective, I believe. I think it was Detective he did a few issues of.
Yeah, and then I think he's doing something at Marvel too. I forget what title. I think he's doing a Mutants title though. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty cool. That's going to be a nice hardcover. Hopefully it's oversized. I mean,
ooh, I didn't even think about that.
I didn't even
see it's Image though. A lot of Image stuff is standard size if you think about it. Well, I mean, look at I Hate Fairyland. Look at Saga.
Those are oversized.
Are they?
Yeah.
No, are they?
Yeah, man. Check it out.
Hang on, I'm looking right now. Where are they at? Oh shit, you're right. They are oversized. Never mind. Never mind. They are. My bad.
Yeah. So hopefully, but I mean, they've done like the absolute size ones with Rick Remender's
like
books.
Deadly Class.
Yeah.
Yes, that Black Science.
Yep, that'd be cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. The Chew Smorgasbord.
Luther Strode, Austin
Yes,
mentioned.
that one
Yeah.
was oversized. You're right. I misspoke. My bad. It's even sitting on my fucking shelf, and I still misspoke. Yeah,
Paper
Luther
Girls.
Strode. That's another fun book.
Yeah.
Luther Strode was
Sorry,
great.
I'm just following with the comments here. Image Austin mentioned. Oh yeah, let's go in order. Let's do it in order.
Yeah, sorry, I don't if we get jumping around too much. Yes, Haushin is hella expensive. I'm probably gonna go through H&R 2 for my Flashpoint binds. They do great work though. I'm not knocking Haushin by any means. They do excellent work. They're what got me into binds, but if I'm only binding 1 or 2 books and I want to go balls to the wall with like the graphic covers and stuff, yes. But otherwise, when I'm doing as many as I'm doing, I got to think money wise. Thanks for the compliment on my name. It's the name of my weekly podcast. Shout out to Nerdy by Nature. I will have to check out that podcast, man. All I do is listen to I don't even listen to music in my car anymore. I only listen to podcasts.
Let's talk about cross-pollinating someday.
Yeah, man. If you ever want to jump on, fucking let us know. We'll be more than happy to jump on, or you jump on, or whatever, however you want to do it. Brews, probably a complete collection, volume 1. I hope you're right, my man. I really do, because I don't know why else they'd be naming it that way, but it is what it is. Has anybody seen Lock and Key yet? Yes. Mike, did you ever finish it? We never. You didn't. Son of a bitch. Aloha.
Aloha, dude. No, I didn't finish it.
You were almost done. You had like 2 episodes.
Yeah, I had one episode.
You have 1 episode. You haven't even finished it.
I have.
Speaking of 1 episode, he also didn't finish Harley Quinn, which I have to apologize for. I did misspeak on the last one. There was actually 1 additional episode before the season finale so I did misspeak on that. But now it's officially done. The first season is done. Second season, though, drops in April. So, like, you wait a month and you get more Harley Quinn. It's great.
That's a good
But how have you not finished off Lock and Key?
I don't like to finish, man. I like to keep it going. Back off a little. Let it simmer.
Is that how you are during sex? I mean, come on.
That's what I'm hinting at, man. It's a rule of thumb that I live by.
Oh, you're young.
Sorry, I'm just seeing a comment here. I think we may have missed from Austin.
Did we?
There. I haven't seen a Paper Girls Deluxe Volume 3 be announced yet either. I'm in
the same boat. Where is that at?
It's 3 up from where we're at now.
Oh shit! Sorry, man. I did miss it.
It is. I know it's coming because I think Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang have both said that there is going to be a 3rd volume. And it's supposed to come in 2020 near the end of the year, so we'll see it then probably, which was my confirmation to get volume 2.
Yeah. Paper Girls is done now, isn't it? Like they finally finished off the story. Yeah.
Because
I read the first 27 issues, I think. And then after that, I was like completely caught up. So I was waiting for it to finish before I read the last 3.
Well, it's done. It finished at 30. Yeah.
So I'll have to go back and read the 3. I enjoyed Paper Girls, man. That was a book that everybody kept talking about, and I was like, man, I have like no interest in that. Like that just does not sound intriguing whatsoever.
Yeah.
And then someone said, "You're dumb, read it," and I did, and I was like, "Oh shit, this is a really fun book."
Yeah, the hardcovers are real nice too. I'll be getting my In Stock Trades haul will have volume 2. It's nice. It's like holographic and stuff.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Are we ever going to get a Spider-Geddon Omni?
Maybe.
Nothing's been announced, but I will say Marvel loves pumping out their Spider-Man stuff. So it's
at least an oversized hardcover, I'd say. They did it for Spider-Verse.
They've done it for a lot of them, like Tangled Web, Spider-Verse. They do it for they love their Spider-Man books. Yeah. So that being said, it is very possible that it could happen. I mean, Marvel Spider-Man books. I mean, anytime we review a Spider-Man book, it's a ton of views too. Like people love Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. So it's very possible, but nothing has ever officially been announced.
Yeah.
Just finished Lock and Key the other day. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it too. I thought it was solid. My wife and I binged it in a day. It was good stuff.
Yeah.
Nerdy by Nature. Fantastic. Appreciate that. I'll talk to my co-host and we'll set something up. We're all for joining collaboration. Awesome, man. Sounds good. we're all for jamming and collaborating with people too. Speaking of, we need to set up a time, side note, to meet up with Mr. Man about his custom bind collection. And
that's right.
Yeah. Thomas Judge. Sorry, I drew a blank for a second. We need to meet up with Thomas. I'm waiting for my work schedule so we can set something up with him. Because he's more than willing to stay up at all hours of the night his time because he's overseas to talk with us. But I just gotta wait for my damn work schedule. East versus West volume 3 and 4 waiting for also.
Yeah. There's enough content for them to do East of West year 3, the deluxe. I know there is for sure. We'll see. Hopefully. I feel like they'll do it because it's been selling well from what I remember. What else are we waiting for a volume 2 on? Or a volume 3? I don't think there's anything else right now. Nailbiter thankfully got that 3rd volume.
Yes. Not only that, but it was announced. What was announced, Mike?
Nailbiter Returns?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Sorry, man.
God, you're leaving me hanging here.
Like, what happened?
What happened to Nailbiter 3? Did it get canceled?
Squatch?
Did Dan Didio go to Image? What happened?
Should I have mentioned Dr. Squatch now? What
No, man. Nailbiter Returns.
Yeah, for sure.
That's exciting stuff, too.
Yeah. I'm excited. Hickman's got a new Image series coming out called Decorum. It's about an assassin in a world of assassins, but this one has class.
So John Wick.
Yeah, maybe a little more classy though. We'll see.
John Wick's a pretty classy motherfucker.
I guess so until he's swinging that hammer. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, it's John Wick in a fantasy setting, pretty much.
That could be fun.
Yeah,
could be a lot of fun, actually.
Crazy ass dialogue for sure.
Yeah, that could be a lot of fun. Jarrett, I'm waiting for an Immortal Hulk Omni, which they did do the oversized hardcover, so I have a feeling an Omni's probably not too terribly far in the future.
Yeah.
Spider-Geddon would be great, and Superior. I'm actually blown away that they haven't done a Superior Spider-Man. That series is perfect for an omnibus. It's 33, something like that, issues. It's like the perfect size for a 1-volume omnibus, so you don't have to create multiple volumes. The story is by far one of the greatest Spider-Man stories out there. When it first dropped, I thought it was a gimmick. I thought it was dumb, and I wanted nothing to do with it. Until 15 issues came out, and somebody handed me 15 issues and said, read these. And I did, and I was freaking blown away. It is such a good book. They've done hardcovers for them, but no omnis. My mind is just it's literally blown away that they have yet to do a Superior Spider-Man omnibus. That's money in the bank right there. I don't understand why they want it.
That was one of my first binds with Superior Spider-Man. One of the first ones I sold as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Fuck, if I would known you had that, I would have bought it from you.
Yeah, it was a good time. I mean, that was when I was getting back into comic books, man, collecting single issues. Superior Spider-Man was out. And I was like, what's going on? Dr. Octopus got his brain. All this crazy stuff's happening. All these issues are being called key issues and stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I feel like they're working their way towards it, though, because we're getting like the Spider-Man by JMS Omnis. I mean, I imagine that there's going to be...
Slott wrote Spider-Man for like 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
So...
They got to, right? I mean... That's a legendary thing.
Yes. David, what's up, my man? Getting Taco Bell. Glad I caught you. Well, hey, enjoy some Taco Bell. Thomas Judge's custom Omni videos are great. They are. He's a really awesome guy, too. We've been chatting back and forth. Unfortunately, I'm just still waiting on my work schedule so we can try to set something up with him. But yeah, I'm super excited to talk to him. I want to know his process for creating those big custom size omnis.
Yeah.
Nerdy by Nature Image is doing some great stuff. I think I'm getting close to having more Image books in the big two.
Me too, man. I was deciding. I was like, I'm going to spend $200 on in stock trades.
That's right.
I'm going to visit Matt, and I was like, what should I get? Batman by Snyder and Batman Eternal, or should I get like these 7 or 8 Image Deluxes, and I was like, yeah, let's get the Image Deluxes. So I'm very excited to get that box.
You did you commit with Wonder Woman though? Because it was 50%
Yes.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for $37, you can't go wrong with Gail Simone's Wonder Woman.
Dude, if I lived in the States and I had, free access to in-stock trades, I mean, it would not be good. But I'd be able to get a lot more books than I'm able to through Amazon, because it's a struggle out here, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, I told you, man. I said, Omaha, man, just move out here. You can come join me.
One day.
Real quick, and I'll jump right back up to Austin's. The OHCs for Superior Spider-Man are so expensive now. Yes, Volume 1's not too terribly expensive. I think it's more Volumes 2 and 3 that are. If you're looking for Volume 1, though, I do have Volume 1 that I'm more than happy to part with. I don't have the other two, though. I only have Volume 1. But if anybody wants it, let me know. I'll part with it for like $25. So
there are complete collections too for anyone who wants to just get them and bind them.
Yep, that too. Which is probably what I'll end up doing ultimately, just because I love custom binding so much. But
yeah, that's one of those rare books where Humberto Ramos's artwork was totally fine.
Yes, it looked
totally
great.
Cool. Granted, his Mary Jane and some of his females were like anorexic looking, but it's okay. One of those books where you're like, it's fine.
Yeah. Austin, where do you guys go for your reading orders? I've been trying to find one for Bendis X-Men. Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you is don't read Bendis X-Men.
Yeah. No,
teach their own. Hang on, actually, I have a website saved because I use this website a lot, and I actually saved because I utilize them for the Jeff Johns Green Lantern reading order.
Ooh. I usually just go by.
And I also have them for the Valiant Universe reading order. It's actually the same website.
Yeah, that's probably
comicbookreadingorders.com.
It's on the nose.
Yeah, I mean, specifically. Wait, there we go. Comic Book Reading Orders.
Shout out to Comic Book Reading Orders.
Yeah, they are a fantastic source of reading orders, and they break it out by colors too. So like green is limited series, red is one shots, blue is comments, black font is like just the regular ongoing series. But yeah, man, comicbookreadingorders.com is who I utilize a lot, and they're awesome. They break it out by titles, they'll break it out by events, they'll break it out by everything. So it's pretty cool. I enjoy it a lot. They'll break it out by universes. For instance, Valiant, they have the entire Valiant universe as a read through rather than Exo Manowar, read this, Bloodshot, read this. Like they have the entire universe broken out in reading order. Wow. So it's really, really cool. I strongly recommend that one. But stay away from Bendis X-Men. No, I'm kidding. I'm about to send my Superman Adventures and Clean Room custom binds out. Nice. Ooh, man. Who do you have?
Clean Room.
Yeah, that. And who do you have doing them? Who are you sending your binds to? I'm curious. Superman Adventures. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one. Is that similar to like
the show?
Is that like the anime, like the Batman Adventures, like the animated stuff?
Yep.
How is that? I'm curious. Have you read the Batman or the Superman one?
Dude, the Batman one's identical to the show.
Really?
Oh my god, it's the most fun you'll have reading Batman. For real, it feels like you're reading a continuation of the show. I shit you not. It is the best spiritual successor you could ask for. And there's like Batman Adventures, Batman Adventures Continue or something like that. Batman and Robin Adventures, and they're all good. Batman and Robin Adventures kind of falls off, but dude, that was one of my top 5 DC Omni wish lists was for them.
Well, I know that I know a guy that he's actually local to me too. He's in some of the Facebook groups, but he actually custom bound all of the Batman Adventures.
Oh, good move.
He has them all in custom binds, and I've seen them and they look really cool. I like the design stuff that he did, but it got me thinking. I was like, could that be a fun book to read? I was like, or is it going to come across too kiddish? You know what I mean? I wasn't sure what it was geared towards. I wasn't sure if it was geared towards like your 9-year-old
man,
geared towards
towards you. Yeah, it's towards the people who watched the show and fell in love with it and wish they had more.
Superman Adventures is Millar? Huh. I'll be damned. See, I don't know. See, Too many fucking comics to keep up with. All right, you guys
Yeah.
got me excited. I'm gonna check this stuff out too. Awesome. Yeah, and let us know, man, who's doing your binds. I'm curious. War of Realms Omni announced. Over 1,500 pages, largest Marvel Omni yet. That is true. That is a
Fatty.
very factual statement. I know a
You-
lot of people are interested to see how it's going to turn out. DC has done those size books, though. I think was He-Man. Oh, I got it back there. I can check. But He-Man, I think, was right around 1,500, maybe a little less than 1,500. Doom Patrol and Invisibles, I want to say, was right around. Fourth World, I think, was at 1,600.
Yeah.
Is that what Fourth World was?
Yeah. Did you mention the Arkham one?
Oh yeah,
That was a beast. That was over
yeah
1,500 as well. I think Infinite Crisis is around that number too.
yeah.
Final
So,
Crisis might be Invisibles. Doom
but here's
Patrol
the
is
thing, though. A
fatty.
lot of people complain about a
Oh yeah.
lot of those omnis because they're too unwieldy to read. They don't lay right. They're too big. They're bulky. They're hard to
Right.
hold. So the
But Marvel's usually had way better production to the point
that
where
is also
you
true.
could it'll stay open from like the first, second page.
That is also true. And
We'll
then
see.
unless you run into issues like with the Miles Morales omnibus and stuff like that. So which are you gonna get? Are you gonna get the classic good
Right.
Marvel, or are you gonna get stuck with like the Marvel Zombies and Miles Morales where it just falls off the block? So
Yeah, yeah. Guess we'll see. It's weird that that got an Omni though. I didn't hear too much about that event.
I got 1 to 3. All right, that's cool. But I'll be hanging on those guys for now. Yeah, man, not a bad idea because two
Yeah.
and three, I think, are the expensive ones. Where can you get the complete collection from? Sorry, we're going
Tracking.
backwards here. Which one are we
It's for
referring to?
it's for Superior Spider-Man. I mean, this is just on Amazon.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
I'm sure they're on in-stock trades, but I mean that second one is this is granted again. It's just Amazon, but it looks like it's not available in Canada. So if
Oh
you're a
no.
Canadian looking for volume 2, good luck unless you're willing to spend 250.
Woo, hell no.
Just a small
Buy the
quarter cow,
single. You could buy the singles for that much and just bind the damn
probably.
things.
Yeah.
The Superman books are really good too. Best Millar stories. Lost Years also fills in gaps and new ad entries of Batman. Here you just commenting again. Batman Adventure Series 2 also has the Red Hood. What? In
That's
comic
right.
form. It's great. Superman Adventure 64 is a straight Batman Beyond. Fuck me. Okay.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun. If you
Dude.
like the shows, those
Oh
books
yeah,
will
no, I love the shows.
I'm just surprised there wasn't a Justice League one.
Justice League Unlimited was by far one of my like all-time favorite TV shows.
It would have
Like
been nice to get a comic like that,
like
man.
15 years ago. I would get home from work, I would sit down in my house by myself, turn on my TV, and just binge Justice League
So
Unlimited.
good.
It
So
was so good.
good. So good.
Um, and then
Yeah.
I met my wife and had kids, and I can't do that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You're going to Haushin. Cool, man. Are you going through like Haushin directly, or are you going through Omaha Bound, which is Tim Benson and David Banks? Wasn't Death and Return of Superman, the new one that I got, the black cover. 99% sure that one. Well, actually, it's right here. Hang on, I'll tell you the exact page count because it's right next to me. Grab this giant beast. All right, so that's it. I mean, it's a very thick book, and the page count is dun, 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 not including the extras in the back. You got to add probably another 30 pages for all the extras. We are looking at maybe 1,370. So we're probably pushing right around 1,400 for Death in Return.
It's a fatty.
Yeah.
It's nice. But it can be done. Again, Big Damn Sin City is always testament.
Yes, and that one's always laid well too. Like I've never heard anybody having issues with Big Damson City.
No.
I've noticed with the bigger DC Omnis, the page block starts to sag. Yep, that is true. I think that's going to be that way really with any Omni though that's that large, to be honest. But yes, you definitely want to kind of take a little bit better care of it. Oh, there it is, Big Damn Sin City. How many pages is that?
Let's take a look. Oh wow, it's only 1350.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Those are just thick pages then. It's like Big Bertha. Wow. But those pages are thick though, aren't they? Like they're thicker than a normal Omni page.
Yeah, these are giant. I don't think I have any Omni as thick as this thing. What a great read too. Yellow Bastard.
Yes.
1
Batman Adventure. Oh, yeah, we read that one. There's Justice League Adventures and Unlimited, but so there is? All right, Mike. There is a Justice League Adventures and Unlimited.
No kidding. All right. Well. Oh boy. Like I didn't have enough bind plans for the year. I wonder what they're like.
David, I have no idea how to contact Tim. I was gonna do the design and send it in, but what's the process to go through Tim? Yeah, so for that one, are you on any of the Facebook groups by chance? If not, the easiest way, honestly, is by joining the Facebook Unbound Omnibus group. It's a pretty small group. There's not very many. There's only a few hundred of us in there. But Tim's in there. He's extremely active, and that's honestly the best way to reach him is through there. But you can also go through their website if you're not like a Facebook person. You can also go to their website, which is Omaha Bound. I think it's omahabound.com or omahaboundentertainment.com. 1 second. Let me double check that. omahabound.com is their direct website. So you can also reach them on that too. Is Omaha Bound, and you can see all of their designs that they've done over the years, etc. Funny thing is, all of my books that they've done are also in their designs. So if you click on like their old designs, all of mine are in there. You can see all of my galleries of their previous work too. So that's pretty cool.
It's always fun.
Colossal Conan has held up really well, and I bought that on release day. Jeez, that was a long time ago. Well, that's Dark Horse though, and that was Sin City was the same way. Big Damn Sin City was the same way. So maybe Dark Horse just had really solid quality, print binders that they were using.
Yeah.
Bruce, how much would it cost to custom bind 30 floppies? All right, so that is a very loaded question. The reason I say that is because because it's custom, it's really dependent upon you and what you want done with it. You can get something very simple and elegant and classy, kind of like this, just like in the buckram cloth, nothing special. You can add on headbands, tailbands, ribbon stuff. You can do all that for if you go through Herring and Robinson, you can get all that done for about $25. So really, really good. Or you can go, balls of the wall. I have them back here, but just because I have this is not a custom bind, obviously, but you can get graphic covers like this for your custom binds. And if you do that, you're going to want to go through like either Tim Benson or Houchen directly. And something like that is going to cost you probably upwards of $65 to $75 a bind. So if you're just looking at one bind, but you want all the bells and whistles and everything with it, you're looking at probably $65 to $75.
Yeah.
So it just sort of depends. The good news is that if you don't want to prep the books yourself, and you send them into Tim will actually, for I think it's part of his first bundle deal, that he's offering like $75 all in price for new binds. But that includes like him prepping the comics and stuff for you. So you don't even have to worry about it. You literally just send in the books and they do all the work. The only downfall, I don't know about their turnaround time now, but I know that in the past, because Houchen does the actual binding for them, and then Tim does all the designing and all that fun stuff. The turnaround time was a few months, if not longer. So it can take a little bit. But when you do get your books, they're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
My Swamp Thing binds were, they're so beautiful. I love them. But it took a long, Mike, you remember that? I was like, it's taking forever. I think it was like 6 months before I got those books back.
Like that. Yeah.
It was well worth it though.
Yeah.
I also want to start collecting Gamerverse stuff, especially Sony Spider, Spider Gamer, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
I just call him Sony Spider.
Yeah, I haven't checked out any of that stuff.
It's good stuff, man. It's a fun game. First comic appearance of Spider Get in Zero, superior, great interaction with a reformed Otto after what happened in the game.
Wow, nice.
JT, what's up, man? Good to see you again.
Hi,
I got told at Walmart gave me is pulling all the Marvel Cinematic movies off physical store shelves for the vault. Well, I mean, it's Disney. I wouldn't put it past them. It's freaking Disney. But good news is you got, it's all on Disney Plus. So, I mean, that's the good news.
Yeah.
But for those physical collectors, grab them now. Those prices are not near as bad as I thought they would be. I have a bunch of stuff I want to get. Man, check out our videos. We got tons of videos on custom binds, whether it be books that we've already done, whether it be Mike's got a bunch of videos for like prepping floppies, prepping trade paperbacks, etc. Honestly, Mike, what we should do now that I think about it, the more, because people love custom. We should talk to Tim and see about getting Tim on the show one of these nights for an interview.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Let people like live, like we'll plan it out way in advance so people can join in and let people sort of pick his brain and ask questions, ask all the the newbie questions and things like that in regards to custom buy.
I want to talk to you a little more in detail about that. We'll talk after the show.
Oh, okay. Did you have an idea or something?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here. I am spouting out ideas. He's already got it going. All right, cool, man.
Yeah.
No, custom binds are great though. I absolutely adore them. Mike is actually the one that got me involved in the custom binds. I didn't even know that was a thing. And then Mike is like, dude, you should. What website did you use? So it was like a forum.
Yeah, it was like Marvel Masterworks Unbound or something. I forget what it was.
And you were showing me like all these crazy things that people can do. And my very first bind was a 2-volume Spectre bind by Ostrander and Mandrake. And it's by far my favorite bind out of all of my binds too. It's the most gorgeous binds. And like my world flipped upside down once I learned all about custom binds.
Yeah, dude, I'm really liking this this sort of anthology idea. Of course, I like having a series as I go, but man, I've been really smitten by Simon Spurrier and his writing.
Spurrier or Spurrier?
I don't know. I always go French because I'm Canadian.
I always say Spurrier because I'm like I'm an American. Spurrier.
It might be. I feel like he's British. I feel like he's British, so it might be Spurrier. But yeah, like I'm having fun with it. I did that Grant Morrison anthology with a few of his series, and I'm gonna make 2 sets with this goddamn Spurrier stuff because it's just been, man, it's so much fun. He packs so much into one issue, and the way he writes dialogue just feels different and a little more authentic than a lot of other writers do. I also just noticed I picked up this book Coda. This volume 1 for whatever reason is actually it wasn't available on Amazon unless it was ridiculous prices for it. But I just realized now doing the live stream that the artist on this, Matthias Bergara, is the same artist from the Hellblazer issue. I just realized that now. Yeah, but I think he won a Best Penciler award for this in Eisner for this Coda series. So I haven't read it yet, but it looks dope. It looks like fun. I'm excited. Yeah, and I picked up Six Gun Gorilla as well.
That name just makes me want to read it.
So, dude, apparently, I didn't even know this, but there's a little background on the character himself. Apparently, there was a comic book created for this Six Gun Gorilla character way back in the day.
Oh, wow.
But the creators are unknown, and the character just lived on. And that's sort of what this is. This isn't like Spurrier's idea or anything. I guess there's this, it's like Airboy, right? There's just this IP up in the air.
Yeah.
And he just grabbed it and did a series at Boom. So,
dude, that's awesome.
It's cool.
I don't know, just the name Six Gun. That just sounds exciting. I'm like, it's like Magilla Gorilla with a gun.
Who doesn't want to read what's happening with this dude? I mean,
right? Look at him,
a Western gorilla. Come on, forget about it. Look at this. He's got a cigar too. What more do you need? What are you looking for in comic books?
Clint Eastwood is a gorilla. Come on.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Great.
But yeah, binds let you do that. You can make your own anthology. You can make whatever the fuck you want to make.
Yeah, it's awesome. Austin, I wonder how fast the new printing of Uncanny X-Force will go out of print. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, then again, though, I think the Bendis Daredevils are already getting low in stock. Now, does that mean that Marvel's not going to reprint them again and kind of keep them evergreen? It's very possible. But I know those Daredevil Bendis books were flying off the shelves as soon as they came out as well, which is a great story. It's a really good story, but
we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully not too fast. I don't know if I'm going to pick up a copy. I had the first printing and I read it like 4 or 5 times. But damn, Uncanny X-Force is so good.
I haven't read it all, but from what I did read, I enjoyed it.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I have like 4 or 5 long boxes of single issues, and I'm more into collected. Dude, custom bind them. I can't tell you enough how fun it is. Not only that, but just like prepping. I thought prepping singles was going to be like the most annoying thing in the world to do. And it's not. You throw on a podcast or you throw on a movie or something and you just go to town, and it's so therapeutic. It's awesome. I love it. Yeah. I love prepping floppies. It's so much fun.
Yeah. No, I agree.
So yeah, dude, freaking go to town, man. It's a blast.
You're going to find yourself. You're going to get some R&R time for sure.
You're going to have some shelves like I'm going to have at the end of this year.
You're going to take those long boxes and be like, I've been preserving these comics for so long. Now it's time to take a knife and slice up the pages.
See, I don't even use a knife.
Just raw dog it.
I do. Go. I raw dog and bail. No, yeah. Mike uses like an X-Acto knife to like get them out there. And maybe it's because you do a lot of newer issues. That could be why too. Because a lot of the stuff you bind is more like modern stuff, right. Whereas the stuff I've been prepping lately is like stuff from like the mid to late 90s.
Right.
So maybe it's just the paper quality is different. But what I do is I use my finger, maybe a little bit of a tool, pry open the staples, take the staples out, just lay it flat, just rip off the back cover. Flip through, look for any ads I want to remove. If I find a double-sided ad, rip off the ad, and it rips clean, super clean every time.
Yep.
But then again, that could be because they're books that are 20 and 30 years old. So who knows? I've been trying to get my hand on Eclipse comics, but damn, they're expensive. I don't know if I'm familiar with that one. I was like, I'm gonna Google that. I don't know if I remember that one. Are you talking about the Image series? I think there was an Image series Eclipse that we interviewed the guy on, but I don't feel like those would be expensive. So I'm confused. I'm curious, I guess, as to.
So it looks like the company was founded by John and Dean Mulaney in 1977. Published some graphic novels up until about in the start of 1978, and then they were around in the 1980s and 1990s. See what kind of titles they got here. Doesn't even show. Damn it, Wikipedia. Oh, wow. Oh, man, Eclipse, of course. Wow, this is where like Miracle Man by Alan Moore was published. First.
Oh.
Okay. Wow, cool. They even had a adaptation of The Hobbit. That's cool. A lot of P. Craig Russell. Nice. Scott McCloud. Cool. Yeah, I can imagine those are tough to get a hold of. Probably not. Don't have too many print runs. Yeah, man. Damn.
That's pretty cool. What about the fact that shut down DC? Now that granted that comment was a few minutes ago, but are you referring to the Vault? Is that what you were?
I don't know.
Comment on that one. Bruce, maybe get a sponsorship from Omaha Bound and discount code for the show. That'd be cool. I don't know if they would do it, but that would be pretty freaking cool.
Yeah.
Jared, have you guys ever come up with concepts you wanted to make into a comic or graphic novel?
All the time.
Once I had an idea that if I could take Quantum Leap and Supernatural and marry them and have a baby, that would be my comic. I think a really fun, like, Supernatural Quantum Leap story would be a lot of fun.
Sure.
But I'm not a writer. I don't know how I would be
Yeah,
able
me
to
neither.
do that.
I tried. It's tough. It's tough. I like doodling more so than anything, but yeah, all the time. Hey, this would be a cool story arc. This would be a cool thing to do.
I would be the guy that downloads a torrent of a comic I've bought just to print them and get something back, especially with the paperclip floppies being subpar. That's where Destroyer Duck, a shooting the bird to marvel about Howard the Duck came from, drawn by. Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
yeah, no, I'm very familiar with that.
DC
Yeah.
Comics shut down. I see JT Gamer followed up.
Are you referring to 5G, like the Dan Didio thing? Because maybe he maybe joined after we discussed that, but
Right.
is that what you're referring to?
Could be, yeah. I don't know. It looks like Shutdown DC was a protest in September of last year. But I don't think that's what he's referring to.
No, I don't think that would be it.
No, probably not. No, no. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could be he's talking about the Dan Didio stuff. I don't think DC's shut down, but
Unless he was talking about like what I was referring to earlier, where if 5G
yeah,
failed, AT&T was going to shut down the publishing.
yeah. Which, we'll see what happens. I guess. Hopefully they don't shut down. That would suck. Oh, dude, I have a story to tell you. So I'm all for people collecting comics just for the sake of collecting it. I get it. It's a way to make money and all that stuff. Do your thing, but I always find it. I always get I like when it's a good time for me. So like I was at the comic book store, and there was a guy there who would. Based on the conversation I was eavesdropping on, it seems like he comes once every few months to pick up a few books in his pull list, and he's basically saying like, "Oh, hey guys, could I get Batman something 92 or something that's coming out added to my list?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure, sure." He's like, "Oh yeah, that's the first appearance of what's her name?" And I was like, "Oh no, not the first appearance." He's like, "Yeah, that's supposed to be the origin of what's her name," referring to Punchline.
Yeah, I was like, he's referring to Punchline.
I'm like, really? Like, I can get you being a comic collector, but you don't even know. You just probably like you don't even know the character's name that you're getting excited to get the origin story of. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being judgmental, but I just that gave me a chuckle. I was like, you don't even know the character's name. I'm not even reading the storyline, and I know her name's Punchline.
Yeah, no, that's what you call a flipper.
Yeah, yeah.
He's hoping that that book makes bank and then he can sell it. That's what that is.
I mean, all those Batman books have been selling like hotcakes the past couple issues.
Yeah.
You can't find that shit anywhere.
Let's see. Sorry, I'm multitasking here.
You're good.
Bruce, with China shut down, some of the new Omnis getting printed in Malaysia have flat spines instead of rounded. Any concerns on them laying flat? No, I have flat spine. This right here is a flat spine. On custom binds, they lay just fine. I have no issues with flat spines whatsoever. A lot of my customs actually are flat.
Yeah.
I like rounded just because I think they look nicer, like on a shelf and stuff. I think they look kind of cool, but all of mine are flat and I have no issues with them. So nope, not at all. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't shut down yet. Thought about getting White Knight Deluxe next week, but surely that will get an absolute sometime.
Dude, surely I hope so, man. I hope because I know Sean Murphy's finishing up the newest story that he's been doing. So I'm hoping they throw all that stuff into one nice absolute. If there's any artist to give an absolute for, Sean Murphy's on that list because dude, his artwork's just so good, and White Knight has been it's been such a pleasure to look at and read. I'm very excited to see what he does co-writing Catwoman. I know that's happening soon. I think that's in May, but yeah, I mean, I hope so. That along with like Mr. Miracle, I would hope would get an absolute. Strange Adventures once it's done because I'm sure it's gonna be a big hit as well. Hopefully, DC's kind of flaking with absolutes lately. Um, thankfully we got Swamp Thing Volume 2 coming out. That's been resolicited. But yeah, that'd be cool. I'm with you 100%, Austin. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mike, I'll let you answer this one because like I said, I'm multitasking here. But what about the whole Marvel buying DC rumors going around? You think something like that could ever happen? I don't. Short answer from me, I don't see it either.
me neither. I don't think so. Rumors will be rumors. I'm sure it's not the first time, won't be the last time. But yeah, I can't even imagine what would happen if Marvel bought DC. Would they keep it separate? Would they just say throw it all together? I don't know. Wouldn't be cool if they threw it all together though. I don't think. Either way, I hope it doesn't happen. I like that they're separate. Separate but equal.
Yeah, I like the competition. I like that they compete.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems it's weird to me, man. I try to read Marvel as much as I can, and while I love the X-Men stuff, a lot of their stuff that's like, their top 10 selling books. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not the target audience for it.
Yeah.
It's just not for me. Jared, I agree. Punchline does not sound that great. Um, I trust in James Tinian though, so we'll see what happens with the character. I know Jorge Jimenez is supposed to start doing that next arc, and he's dope. So we'll see what happens. I know Matt. You've recently caught up on his Detective Comics run, pretty much.
Yes, yes, I love Tinian, man. That dude, he's become one of my favorite authors.
So I think you've read more than me at this point. Does Eddie Barrows keep doing the artwork, or do other people take over?
There's other people,
Ah, fair enough.
but all of them are good. It all looks really good. I don't think I've honestly come across an issue yet. I'm not quite done with Tinian's run. I think I got maybe 10 more issues to go, but so far all of the art's been like comparable. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Yeah.
super drastic changes or anything in the art style or anything like that. It's a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying the hell out of it. That book is so good, so good.
Yeah.
If you own a copy of Under the Hood, his car drawing sketchbook he usually draws a little car motorcycle inside. Sean Murphy's referring to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude's awesome.
Actually, it would be Disney. Completely agree. Got to admit, it is a weird coincidence of a crossover tease in Donny Cates Thor and Doomsday Clock. I don't
I
know.
didn't see that.
Well, then again, I'm not reading Thor either,
Yeah, me
but
neither.
I'm not.
Gotta check that out now. Let's see what that's all about. Damn it,
I
Austin.
know. Should we do it for for the live stream? Should we read Thor?
Should we read Thor?
Should we? We read one and I laughed hysterically.
Yeah.
A lot of people said it was epic, and I just laughed.
Yeah, we should. I mean, maybe it's worth checking out.
Let's not poo-poo it yet. Should we give it a few more issues before we poo-poo it?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. We'll read Thor, and then we'll see what's going on.
Let's give it a single.
Want to get Doomsday Clock, but are going to get an oversized hardcover with all the issues in one book. I would say it's a very high probability, yes, especially with it being Jeff Johns. I would say it's very high probability they'll do an OHC for it.
That's another one I wouldn't mind an absolute for. Dude, Gary Frank's artwork is ridiculous.
Speaking of artwork that I love, I see Birthright just popped up behind you.
Yeah.
Love that book.
Yeah.
Love Birthright.
That's ending soon, right?
Yes, ending with I think issue 50. I actually messaged Williamson because I was like, "Hey, I need to know when this ends so I can custom bind it."
Like I'm running out of flash ideas.
Yeah, I think 43 or 44 just came out, so here within the year it'll be done.
That's cool.
What would be terrible is if the sale to Marvel has already happened, like the Sony Spider-Man deal in 2016. That's why Doomsday Clock and Thor hinted at connections. Dude, this sucks. Since we don't read Thor, I have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
I don't know, man. But we'll check it out. It might just be Donny Cates doing his thing. He likes to stir the pot a little.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll see. We got to read Thor. I think there's only like 3 or 4 issues out though, so it's not too much to catch up on.
Big fan of Gary Frank. Hope we get a new 52 dude, that would be dope. A new 52 Justice League Omni, that would be awesome. I enjoyed the hell out of Justice League New 52. Yeah. Justice League Rebirth, not so much. Justice League New 52, yes.
Yep. I mean, hopefully we see, they finish off the Snyder Capullo Batman stuff, start doing Tom King omnis, because I would 100% pick those up. There's a lot of stuff DC can do. New 52 Justice League. Yeah. That
Yep.
would be, I think that would end up being like 3 volumes as well, because Forever Evil and Trinity War is like a huge, huge thing. So that'd be another Jeff Johns trilogy. That'd be cool.
Yeah, another Birthright fan. Woo! I love it. Love Birthright. Very, very excited. I fell behind because I just wanted to binge it. I got tired of waiting month to month. But I've read the majority of it. It's great. I love it. I'm a big Joshua Williamson fan though. All of his creator-owned stuff is phenomenal. I don't think I've read any of his creator-owned stuff that I didn't like. Flash has been enjoyable as well. I am way behind on Flash though, so I would need to play catch up and see if it's still good. But from what I did read of Flash, I think I read like the first 30 issues. I enjoyed Flash quite a bit too. But yeah, Joshua Williamson's creator-owned stuff is great.
It's dope. Yeah.
A Jeff Johns Superman Omni is needed too.
I agree.
And then yes, the firing. Yeah, Didio leaving. We discussed that one earlier, JT. So once this officially uploads to the channel, if you want to check it out, I think we were maybe like, I don't know, half hour or so in when we kind of discussed it, but we did cover all that Didio stuff too. So
yep.
But well, guys, I actually got some stuff I need to get done tonight. So I think we're gonna have to cut it short.
Fair enough.
We were going an hour and a half. That's a good length.
Yeah, we'll hit everyone back up next weekend. A few weekends from now, we'll probably maybe do a live stream from, in the same room together. God.
Yes, we'll actually be in the same room. We're going to be at Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. It is official. We at least got one of our press passes confirmed today, so we will officially be there, unless something crazy happens. But otherwise, we will be there at Comic-Con Kansas City. Yep. And we're going to be doing some interviews. We're going to be posting a bunch of live stuff while we're there, and then we're also going to try to do something on the show. So
yeah, I know Matt and I are probably going to go looking around on the Friday morning to see what creators have custom binds out on their tables just for fun.
Yeah, sometimes Tim Benson's actually there. I think he said he's going to be there this year just walking around, but they're not going to have a table like they did previous years. I think he said this year they're just going to be walking around, but yeah, so that would be able to keep the secret. Oh, wait. Something happened in Thor 2 called the Black Winter that attacks the universes. One of them was a team of blinding blue, red, green, and black light racing towards it only for the universe to die. Well, we read Thor 1. Maybe we'll have to read Thor 2 and see what's going on. Yeah, it's almost 1 where Mike is. It's 12 where I'm at.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thank you guys very much. Yeah, Nerdy by Nature, let us know, man. We would love to try to do something with you guys as well. Otherwise, you guys stay tuned for next week. Patreon, $1. $1. But thank you guys very much. Have a wonderful weekend.
See you guys.